Welcome to the Big BoneYard. Enter at your own risk.
Decided to pursue a career in law because it gives me an opportunity to help people. When a client chooses us to represent them, they're entrusting us with a huge responsibility. It's our goal to exceed their expectations with our personalized service and to help them to achieve the best possible recovery to compensate them for their injuries.
That's where we come in. We come in and we solve that problem for them and really set them on the right track in order to try and get back to what their life was like before the accident happened.
Hey, y'all. Wait, is this thing working? Yeah. Okay, yeah. I guess we there. Hey, happy Sunday, folks. What's up, AB? Archbishop, sir?
What up, bro?
Man.
What up, though? What up, though?
Man, that's what's up, man. I'm telling you, I am going to be in 2023. I'm going to work on my damn proper Detroit lingo so I can kind of get it going right, you know. We see some folks already joined us. Soldier, doggone from Hard Knocks. I met a lot of your folks this weekend, man. But yeah, man. So hey, folks, welcome to doggone Big BoneYard. You got your two favorite bros. You got Big Bone 1%er and Archbishop 1%er in the motherfucking house.
What up, everybody? What's up?
Man, it's good to see them folks out there. We see y'all jumping in there, man. That's always good. But yeah, so man, we got a lot of stuff to talk about. But first thing, we'll get this out of the way straight away. And especially now, we all charged up. You know, we got our diamonds recharged over the weekend, if you know what I'm saying. And so having said that, whatever we say, you know, we love our folks, we love our organizations and all like that. But to make it 100% perfectly clear, everything that we're talking about these opinions. These are our opinions. These are our words. These are the way we look at things. This is no reflection. Anything we say is no reflection on our respective or on our organization in any fashion whatsoever. I had to get that out of the way. But we see some folks. Phoenix, what's up, Phoenix? She's hollering at folks. And then we see George, of course, Soldier. Heather, needless to say, right there. We see you, girl. But yeah, and Miss Watkins, Constance Watkins saying, hello, sponsor. That means you, not me. But yo,
what's up, Dennis?
Man, how was the weekend for you, brother?
No, it was cool, man. It was cool for the most part. I ended up working. So I ended up working all weekend. Yeah, so so instead of being able to run out with you this weekend, I had to pull that 9 to 5.
Man, wait a minute. Everybody know 1%ers don't have jobs. That's not real, is it?
Well, this 1%er got bills, so hashtag got job.
When do 1%ers get bit? Man, look, this is a lot different than I seen on Sons of Anarchy, man. This you're just telling me stuff wrong. But we was talking about that. A lot of folks this weekend. Well, y'all know I went up to the PROC, the MC Professional Convention in New Orleans this weekend. And the way that me and Archbishop approach this thing is, hey, well, I'll go to the left, you'll go to the right, vice versa. I'll handle one thing, you handle that other thing, because we done figured it out. As shiny as our jewelry is, we actually cannot be in two places at one time, and we're not magical, but we can divide and conquer. So that's kind of what we had going on. But for me, this weekend, it was a great weekend. Met with, man, it seemed like thousands of bikers from all over North America. And we got to do, really just connect with a lot of folks, chop it up. I did the president's seminar where we talked about, or I focused on like councils, ABATE and things like that on the local and state level, where we had Shaggy. He kind of filled in for somebody else, and he attacked that same subject from the national level, talking about like income and that kind of thing. But it was real great, man. A very receptive crowd. We've been hearing from folks nonstop ever since, and it was lit. And it's New Orleans, so they got those second lines. People playing like the trombones and the tubas and dancing all over the place, and every single piece of food that you ate was fantastic. It was like better than the last. Yeah, it was crazy cool. But had to hurry my ass, get back here for like some club, some MC type business, and then also, of course, to join with all y'all wonderful folks here on the Big BoneYard tonight. So it was a good crazy ass weekend, and I can't even tell all y'all about it. We'll talk about it later on the Facebook group. We'll probably say a few things there.
And even the ones that gave me the shout out, even though I was not there, and they called you me.
Man, let me tell you. So I didn't know that apparently my name is Archbishop, and I wasn't sure about it the first, I don't know, the first 20 times I heard it. But after a while, yo, Archbishop, what's up, baby? How you doing? I'm like, well, that man. Dude, I watch you every week, Archbishop, dude. Like that. I'm like, oh, okay. Well, my name is all right. I'll see you later. Okay. This shit happened. I'm not exaggerating. At least 20 times this weekend, including a couple of folks who I know. Like for those of y'all that know, Prophet, who's been on the show promoting his book. He literally walked right up to me, and it's not. Anyway, hadn't seen him in person in a couple of 3 years, right? He walked right up to me, Archbishop, baby, what's going on? It's good to see you. Like, wow. So then after we got that squared away, while we're literally there talking, laughing about the fact that he called me Archbishop, another dude walks right up. Hey, Archbishop, I heard what you said up there earlier, baby. Oh, good. I'm watching you. I'm going to be watching you this week. Oh, my God. That wore me out, bro. It's like, it's a good thing I don't got a big ego or nothing, because I'd be curled up in the fetal position crying about now.
Appreciate the love, everybody, even though you got the wrong person. Appreciate it anyway.
It was big love for real. For Archbishop, and I got a little piece of it myself too. But I'll tell you, man, it was a very good weekend. It was big love out there this weekend, man. Folks came together, learned a lot, chopped it up, got a lot of stuff. Brothers of Liberty, DC, we see you over there, baby. And Phoenix said, make sure, yeah. And like Phoenix said, we're getting going, and I appreciate it, Phoenix, a reminder, because y'all know I'll be slow. Make sure you hit the like button. If you don't know, folks don't know about it, share this with them. Definitely subscribe. We're still in the hunt for those good numbers, man. So y'all do that. Geo the Great. Hey, yo. But so here's what we're doing tonight. And y'all know I gotta like scribble stuff down so I can. So basically the idea is, y'all remember back in the day, I think it was like in the 80s, for those of y'all old enough to remember, they used to have those Wendy's commercials where that little old lady, she was about 75 pounds, about 800 years old. And she said, where's the beef? Right? Anyway, so that's what we're talking about. Where's the beef? When MCs go to war. And that sounds like a super simple subject. Maybe a little bit. It might be a little bit. But we're looking at this from a lot of different facets. So what we were talking about in the description was, let's say you walk into your favorite biker bar. Your brother leans in, or your sister, if you're a woman club. Your brother leans in and he says to you, hey, and when we see those assholes, man, we're going to give them the business. We're going to give them all that business. On site. You're like, yeah, we're gonna do that. Now, if you know what's going on, if you know. But what if you don't have a clue about what the hell he's talking about, or why you're supposed to beat those guys up, or or what if those guys that you're supposed to fuck these guys up, right? What if they're a bunch of like holy rolling, God fearing, freaking motorcycle riding ninjas who like to kill folks in their part-time and who don't really bother anybody, but they have a rep for sending people to the damn, they like to send people to the morgue every now and again, so it's a lot of questions, right? Awful lot of questions there. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna figure out some of those questions tonight on the Big BoneYard. So I'm real glad that y'all took some time out to come and chop it up with us about it. And as per usual, if y'all have a question, an experience that y'all want to share, or anything like that, don't be shy. Give us a ring. We're here. About that or whichever might come across your mind. But here, the phone number is, and by now, I really should know the phone number by heart, but it's 310-870-8994 if you got a question or something like that. But let's get it started, man. So bikers fighting bikers, and by the way, just for typically when this biker shit happens, bikers have beefs. It's not like against the mailman or the lady down the street or something like that. Bikers don't go running around messing with civilians. We usually, if there is an issue, it's us having a problem with some other of us. So it's not like on TV where, bikers are all the boogeyman and stuff like that. But I was going to ask you, AB, so when it comes to this whole thing, first of all, I guess the first thing is, what does it mean when bikers say, oh, we're going to war? What does that mean?
Well, it means a couple things, actually. It's I think generally, let me see. Did we do our disclosure before we start talking? Did we do that?
Yep,
did you do disclosure? Okay.
Yeah, we can do it again.
Make sure. No, I just want to make sure that I'm just making sure before I get. Just going. Anyway, the first thing I'm gonna say is that war is not the first resort to anything. I mean, this is something that has gotten to the point that there is no more communication, there is no more talk, and that typically happens when if you go back and think about the history of a lot of these different clubs or whatever, they are infamous now in the 2000s because of wars that took place in the 80s and 90s, and think about it, a lot of the beefs that went on during that time, a lot of these clubs are still at war right now, that that the average member right now in 23 probably don't even know the reason why the war even started in 80, 85, 90, and so on, but like I said, that's not the first thing, there is a culmination of things that has to happen before that, and that goes, once the talk is over and the respect becomes disrespect, then there's a problem.
Right. So with these and you hit on some good ones, some good points that always come up, always in the conversation. So first we're going to say why, and then we're going to say who. But so I guess the next thing is, well, why would a club, any club, 99 Diamond friggin' motorcycle ministry, I've heard, and that has happened. I promise you that's happened. Military clubs, I've seen. I sound like I'm 9,000 years old. I've seen it all. But yeah, I've seen some craziness amongst clubs, and you go, wow, those guys. Yeah, but they still bikers, they still men, and sometimes women. But you don't hear about it as frequently with the women, but it does happen too, for sure. But so first of all, what's a reason that two clubs might decide, hey, you know what, we don't like them, we're going to war, we're fighting, we're getting it in right now? Like, why is that?
Well, let's see. You got a couple different. I'll just name off a couple. One of the big things is, you got your own personal bullshit, personal beefs that, and it could be a beef, not actually a club beef, but a beef between two men outside of the club thing, but then because they're in two different clubs, made it a, you know what I mean? Like they kind of made it a club issue.
Mm.
You got second thing, women.
Yeah.
A lot of beefs happen over women. A
Yeah.
lot of them. You got just politics in general.
Right.
Then you have the biggest thing of all is ego.
Oh yeah.
Ego and lack of respect. Those are the biggest ones.
Okay. And actually, you know what? Again, you're hitting on all 8 cylinders, brother. Because those are. If I'm thinking about it, if I'm honest, those are probably like the big four right there. Now, I will throw out there, once upon a time, back in the day, you know, in the and again, the set and everything else is real different. But back in the day, like certain big clubs used to get into it about territory. And territory is not like you might think. It's not about like a gang or something like that. Territory in the sense that this is where a bunch of these guys live. That's where they worked. And if they was doing some shady shit, hey, that's where they made their money. And if somebody encroached on that, well, that's a reason to get mad too. So you know, so I guess you'd say territory and money as well. But looking at that, and we're going to delve back into that in just a little bit, like each one of those things a little bit more. But the next thing would be the why, or excuse me, the who. Like, who is this that's doing all of this stuff? And I kind of, you know, let the cat out of the bag a little bit by saying all these different sort of clubs. But like, who most frequently are you thinking of when you're thinking biker war? Who are you thinking about?
You know, generally when you hear about biker wars, you don't hear about it. You don't hear about it on the 99 set. You know
Right.
what I mean? That's 299 fucking. I mean, it's always an OMC or a Domino. I mean, it's
Yeah.
always they always put it off on us because that's the more glorified thing. You know what I mean? You
Oh,
think
it's
about it. It's
sexy. It's
more
sexy to say
right,
us.
right. It's more exciting. You know what I mean? When you hear about this club here and this one here, I'm not gonna name no names, but
Yeah, yeah.
you know what I mean? When you hear about this club and this club, like oh they into it and they what I mean? It's like it's it's like scary, exciting. You know what I mean? It's like it's scary
Right.
if you was around and you seen it, but it's exciting because there's some shit going on, and you trying to figure out the reason why XYZ is going on. You know what I mean? So
Right.
it's you know, it just kind of always seems to be like the the beefs on the OMC side tend to be talked about a lot more than the actual beefs on like the 99 side. But like, like I said, like you got 99 clubs that beef too. There's been beefing for a long time, but
Yeah.
you don't hear about it as much because it's I mean, I guess it's just like the whole
It don't make good news. You know?
right. You know what I mean? It's like we in the whole Sons of Anarchy Mayan shit. So they looking, you know what I mean? It's like when one
Yeah.
percenters fighting, then it's like, oh, okay, this is like the show. They about to get down. This. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Kind of like
Yep.
you go get your popcorn and wait and just sit in the corner and shut the hell up and just watch and see what happens. You know what I mean? When you see two of them walk in the same room, you're like, oh shit, it's getting ready to go down. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You know, as even though this weekend was like a really cool, chill ass weekend, me and Shaggy, at one point we was, because it was actually cold in New Orleans this weekend. We was outside doing whatever, he's smoking cigarettes, we, smoking and joking, blah blah blah. We came back in there, and I mean, it's like hundreds of people in the lobby, just hundreds of people everywhere you can see. We walk in the lobby, and it was like this. I'm talking 100 folks did this just for a minute, not too long, but it was like, and then they realized that it was just two guys walking from point A to point B to go to the bar to get a beer, and it was like, oh, okay, well, back to the regular conversation, back to your regularly scheduled program or whatever like that. I was like, damn, so even now here in this completely chill, relaxed environment type of situation. But you're right, man. And I guess going back to some of the things you were saying earlier, personal, reason people fight, personal and women, they kind of sort of intersect a little bit, but personal, like this guy right here knows that guy right there from elementary school when he kicked sand out of his sandbox or, stole his Lego set or something like this. And now here it is 20 years later and he's still got a chip on his shoulder. And he thinks that he's with the club that's better than that guy's club. And guess what? Now, damn it, we don't like each other. Now, in real life, that dude who's mad at that dude over there, that don't got nothing to do with the club. But once he gets it going, all of a sudden, either one of them cats, one of them or both of them, and talking about, oh, those guys over there, did this, or those guys over there we don't like. And yeah, now you got a war between two clubs behind some how do they say it in the politically correct way to say it, over some bullshit. That's what I'm saying. Right. So that happens. Women, educators, sir. How could a woman possibly start bikers to fighting and end up having a war behind it? Because that don't happen a lot, does it?
Well, that goes all the way back to Adam and Eve, right? You know what I mean? You can a woman can manipulate anything that she wants to do. You know what I mean? If she really wants to do it. But like I said though, it really don't even have it. Let me take that back. Back. A lot of that was stemmed between, like I'll give you an example. So let's say this guy here, baby mom, ex-girlfriend, ex-wife, whatever, is talking to this bro over here that's in another club.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, the baby mom and the ex, they don't see eye to eye. They fighting. Yep. She talking to her dude. She letting him know XYZ. So he don't even know this dude here, but he automatically don't like him because his girl don't like him. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. That's one thing that keeps going. Second thing is grade A pillow talk.
Ooh,
you know what I mean?
Yep.
This one here been with her all this time. He done shared all this information with her, and now she done moved over here, and she is now telling everything that she knows over here.
Yeah.
So that's the two biggest things.
I seen where speaking of women, so some dude with a club, and you kind of hit on a little bit right then. So some dude with a club with some woman. She been on the set for a minute. So she done, dated this guy from this club, maybe that guy from that club. Well, now she's with the guy from club number B. And like you said, pillow talking a little bit, or the big one. The big one is this. Her old man is mad about something, and he's talking all this trash about this other dude from this other club. Well, she's gonna go and tell her girlfriends, and one of her girlfriends is messing with the dude from that club. Now, this is some real 90210 high school bullshit, but needless to say, this shit happens all the time. It's amazing. This is why pillow talking is bad. But anyway, she talks to her girlfriend who's dating some guy from club number A. And now all of a sudden, she's got an attitude about this girl and about her old man. And these two bitches are bitching, like screaming, hollering. They don't like each other and doing that whole thing. Guess who gets sucked into it? Both of their old men. That shit is almost inevitable. Now, for those of us who know better, we're going to tell either of them, hey, stay the fuck out of grown folks' business. This don't have nothing to do with you. I don't care how much you hate her. That don't got nothing to do with me. That has nothing to do with my club. Don't you know stuff like that can get all of us, like fucked up, locked up, hospitals, morgues, all of like that, just because, she's a 38 double D. And now we got to fight. Happens.
But one of the biggest.
Oh no,
like another one of them points that you just to piggyback on what you were saying right there. What we talking about right now about the pillow talking and stuff like that. That's that's not something that just started. This has been going on for a long time.
Yeah.
And we talk about it because you think you going on 40, 50 years of the same thing going on. And the more you talk about it, the more it's going on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's you sit there and think like, okay, why does it go on? You know, and generally what happens is this, because 9 times out of 10, let's just keep it real here, 9 times out of 10 that you feel that your significant other, girlfriend, whatever, that she's not going to betray you and go back and tell your business.
Right.
So you feel that you are at liberty to say what you think or how you feel or what's going on or who's doing this. And, you know, this dude here, you know, he's slipping around on his old lady, and this dude over here is doing blah, 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 thinking that she ain't going to never tell on you.
Right.
But history has showed that when a breakup occurs and she is mad at your ass and she knows something that's going to get you, she's going to get you. So,
Yep.
to eliminate that process, shut up.
Yeah.
Keep your club shit to your fucking self.
Oh, facts.
If she was not there when he was talking about it, she shouldn't be there for any part of that conversation.
Facts.
Now, like me, for instance, when I'm here in the house and a bro called me, I don't give a damn where they from. I walk outside.
Right.
Go on the porch. I sit in my truck. I go for a ride, whatever. Because what I'm talking about is nobody's concern other than mine.
Mm-hmm.
That keeps that from happening. You know what I mean? That keeps that little ear hustling. You know what I mean? Because even if you in the living room and they in the bedroom, you know, they still listening, trying to figure out who you're talking to. They, you know, because you know the first thing a woman think when you're on the phone and you done walked off, you're talking to a bitch. That's what you're thinking. Right. You know what I mean? So you know they're ear hustling. You know, so I make my way out the house, away from everybody, and then I'll hold my conversation. Now, you know, a lot of times me and you talk on the phone, I'll be like, hold on a minute.
Oh, yeah.
And I'll leave and then be like, okay, go ahead what you're saying, because I'm getting away from everybody else so that way we can speak freely.
Man,
you know
what? I realized this, and it's been going on for a long time, but I realized this just probably about 6 months ago. I was at Walmart, and I forget, I was going to the Walmart to get something, and the phone rang like 3 times while I was in Walmart. Every time the phone rang, it was a certain person calling, you know, going to talk some club business, you know, and I stopped what I was doing, turn around, go back outside. Had a little basket, a buggy, whatever, and with a couple of 3 things in it, parked that shit by the door, went outside. Why? Because there's a lot of people in Walmart, and I'm paranoid. I think everybody's trying to listen to my shit, and it's one of those sort of, if you're not paranoid to the degree that you think that your old lady's not listening, or the guy that seems overly interested in every item that you go to purchase in Walmart or whatever, guess what? Get some paranoia about you. It'll avoid a lot of headaches later on. It's better to take an extra 5 minutes to go walk outside or you know, go around the corner, jump in the car and take a drive. It's worth it. It's really worth it, man. Oh, by the way, 1906 Phenom said he just touched down, kickstands down from Louisiana. So it sounds like he was there. We got some Facebook users. Listen, on Facebook, if you don't give the platform, either StreamYard or YouTube or whichever, if you don't give them permission, there's a way to do it when you go on your Facebook or whatever. Give them permission to share your information, because otherwise here it's just going to come up like this. Facebook user said this and Facebook user said that. So if you don't do that, then just tell us who you are. Like if you make a comment and you're watching on Facebook, say who you are, and then, you know, say your piece, but like say your thing and then tell us who you are. Because somebody said, and I'm dying to know who this is, like, y'all don't see me, motherfuckers. I don't know who it is, but we see you. We just don't know who you are.
You don't know who you are.
You know, like help a brother out. Let us know something, you know. But also we had another thing from Brothers of Liberty. Brothers of Liberty, I guess this asked me, it's just a question, but why are you wearing a cut / rags? Not about your club. Because let's see, how do I answer this? Well, it could be because it's none of your fucking business. Or it could be because this is just some cool ass civilian shit that I kind of like wearing every now and then. You know, I'm not out on the set right now doing a thing or two. you know, so this is just some old shit. Always have it. I was doing something, needed to wear it, but then possibly it could be because it's none of your fucking business. That is a possibility. You know, I don't know. Call me crazy, but you know, I'm strange that way. Cinderella said, "Hi, everybody." But yo, so the next thing would be ego, which that's a great one. So ego, what does that look like? Like, how is it that somebody having an ego is gonna turn this into, damn it, now we got 2-3 chapters going at each other because somebody had an ego? Or now is that one dude with an ego? Or is that like the ego of the whole damn club?
It could be both. It could be
Okay.
both. Well, let's start with the smallest thing first.
Okay.
Okay, so let's say, for instance, and you know a couple people like this. Let's say that I was in let's say I was in a 99 club, and um, throughout my time in the 99 club, let's say I had, I had some personal issues or some beefs with some people that was in my club, and then I decided that later on, I decided I'm a jump ship. I'm leaving y'all. I'm going over here, and I go over here. I do what I got to do. Now I got a nice shiny on me,
Yeah.
and so now I'm coming back and be like, okay, now say that shit you said to me last time I seen you. Say that shit again.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because now they feel that, you know, that they're inferior to you. You know what I mean? That you can
Right.
that now like now y'all was bullying me. Now I'm in a position that I can bully you.
Right.
You know what I mean? So
Goes back to
you
them
have
KTs. Yeah.
right. So you have stuff like that. Then you have, you know, you have people that just, just growing up that you just generally just did not fucking like. And you may be in two different clubs. You know what I mean? And so y'all's beef is ongoing. Y'all's beef been since high school. You know what I mean? You was you stole my girlfriend, or you just a punk ass dude, blah 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 blah. I used to fuck with you. You know what I mean? Whatever you know what I mean? Shit happens when you're a teenager. You know what I
Right
mean?
on.
You feel like an emotional time bomb. Everything affects you some kind of way when you're a teenager.
Yeah.
So
Facts.
let's say that carries on to later on, and you just got a personal just dislike for this dude. You know what I mean? So that causes it.
Yeah.
Or this is the biggest one. Just people just straight out lying.
Oh, you. Ooh.
That's the
What?
biggest one.
What?
You know what I
Oh,
mean? Because a lot of people, like, people need to
did you
get
say
that
they was lying?
lying. You know, I think that's one of the biggest ones. You know what I mean? I don't know why. I don't know why people feel that lying is the answer to shit. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
you're always gonna figure out what the truth is. Sometimes you would like to know the truth a little sooner than later. But a lot of things start on a lie.
Yeah.
So you tell me something, I in turn run my mouth and I tell it to this person who tells it this person. And by the time it got around to that person there, it was something totally different than what you said.
Oh yeah. Oh
You
yeah.
know what I mean? He ain't about to approach you, so he passed the message back. And when it got back to you, it's not the same thing that he said. So, you know what I mean? So instead of these two people actually talking
Mm-hmm.
and figuring out exactly what was said and then be able to go from there, you know what I mean? Words, shots fired.
Oh
You know
yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
So now I see you, I'm looking at you, you know what I mean? I'm shooting you the rock. You shooting me the rock, and then, you know what I mean? And both of us sitting there with that wish in their mind, I wish the
Right.
fuck you would come over and say some shit right now, you know
Yeah.
what I
Yeah.
mean? And then, as soon as you get close enough, ding ding, you know what I mean? That's what it is.
Then you got these guys. You got these guys who can make that face, right? They can make that, like, okay, so total. All right, this is sidebar. So here's the thing: when you show up to a place, you show up, they show up, and you see that one dude who's like doing that shit the whole time, every time you see that motherfucker, you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
You know who that is? You know who that is? That's the scariest motherfucker they got. You know why? Because that motherfucker figures if I make a scary enough face, won't nobody come over here and figure out that I can't fight. You know. And then when somebody do get up in his shit and they're waiting for the, you know, for the rocket's red glare and the shit to pop off, and he's like still sitting there doing that. You say, what you gonna do? N-word, you know, what you gonna do? Nothing. That's what he's gonna do. Because what he is good at doing, he can make that face all day long. But anyway, I just had to get that part off my chest because them dudes crack me up. So Phenom, somebody did say something that was pretty good. I think Slow Burn was saying here, for Frost said like, share, and subscribe because I dig that, and he said that again. But Slow Burn said war equals when brotherhood and love is strongest. It's crazy.
Absolutely right.
I get that, I dig that, and I agree 100%. Because
you're absolutely correct.
Nothing brings a club together than having a common enemy and somebody's ass to go kick. You know, I mean, a lot. You could be beefing with 2-3 of your brothers, but when y'all got to put that shit to the side because y'all have a common enemy, it's just like, man, it brings folks together. It's like Viagra and newlyweds or something like that, you know, or Viagra and old people. It's gonna bring them together. You know?
Well, you think though, that's just not on the MC level. That's on, I mean, think about it.
That's a
you was in the military just like me.
Yeah.
When we went out and went to the Gulf and Afghanistan and you know, Somalia, Syria, wherever that we may have went, what happened stateside? Everybody kind of rallied together and bonded together because, you know, because we're not at this point in time, no one stateside is the enemy. We focused on them.
Right.
You know what I mean? Now, and then when the war is over with and the troops come home, then we go back to like, oh yeah, be like, yeah, everything cool now. I still don't like your ass. You know, we right back to our words. But now on the club scene, happens the same way because when you're not at war with another club or whatever, and everything is peaceful, then the war turns into the chapter because now you got these bros battling each other in these chapters instead of, you know, keeping that same brotherhood that you had when you was arm in arm, shoulder to shoulder, back to back out here fighting. Now that you back into the chapter, now you turning on each other.
Yo, if you haven't, if y'all are watching, we did a show, I don't know, a couple of months ago, called it was Wartime versus Peace, Wartime Brothers versus Peacetime Brothers. I forget the actual name of it, but if you can go back, take a look at that because we actually talked about that subject a lot and like the attitude and the mentality of brothers who came into the club or was in the club during wartime. It don't matter why the war started. If they was actively at war, them brothers move and think differently, and they have a different bond than these brothers in that club who don't know nothing about that. You know, they've heard the stories and all like that, and they can, we don't, you know, they can be all, you know, all that stuff, but it's a different thing when, you know, you done stood 10 toes down with your brothers in that club. You have a different way of thinking, and we're not going to delve all into that. But if you get a minute, go backwards, you know, like click on, go subscribe to the channel, go back, take a look at some of those older shows. It was only a couple of months ago, but it's a hell of a good show. Everybody liked it. So I'm confused right now about something. We're going to get back to our subject in a second, but so I'm Big Bone 1%er, but somebody named Bone said, what's up, Big Bone and Bishop? Congratulations on the growth of the channel from Bone and Flow MC. Keep up the great work. Each one teach one. You gentlemen is doing so much for the MC culture. And Bone, we appreciate
that.
I do want to fight you because you got my name, but yo, but for real, Bone, where y'all out of, man? If you're still watching, let us know where you out of, man. And, and we definitely appreciate you watching and fucking with us a little something tonight, man. It's always a good ride with us, man. So keep rocking with us, man. And hey, quick, Texas Outcast in the house. Boom, that's for you. Quick, that part. And hey, y'all Facebook folks, let us know who you are, because I still see y'all are saying stuff like hello everyone, and we look, and we appreciate it. So sup homies, we appreciate it. We just don't know who you are. Pastor Troy said a true they like to fight a lot, and they no, all right, he didn't say that. So true that's motorcycle ministry, should truly be at war. Our war isn't against flesh and blood, but a spiritual battle, and the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty in God in pulling down strongholds. Okay, amen. All right, right on. You dig that? Oh, Hood's up in the house. Hood said bullshit, ego, women, and personal. Hood, what you talking about? Hood, hey, Hood,
everything I wrote down.
Yeah, right. Everything you wrote down. Shit. Hood, I'm surprised Hood wasn't up there this weekend. We had some bros up there. It was a hell of a good time. Busy as all hell. People everywhere. But Hood, I'm surprised you wasn't there. Slide from Hard Knocks says, hey, good evening, gentlemen. Good evening, gentlemen from Hard Knocks. We got love for y'all. Diva is what you call her. Say, hey, bro. Oh, that's Franny. Okay, Franny done switched up on. All right, Franny. She said, hey, she found us. Franny found us. Cinderella said, pillow talk. Why is your PO talking about pillow talking? Is this something we need to know?
Yeah, I don't know. She ain't selling a pillow with me. I don't know.
All right. Let's see. Cinderella said, trying to make the other man okay. Trying to make somebody else mad or jealous. Okay. That's a thing. All right. And okay. Franny says, hello, Big Bone. Cinderella says, okay. She says somebody, Lion. Well, you had actually just said that. Lion. Okay. All right. Quick said, say that shit, bro, Archbishop. Okay. And I'm going to tell y'all again, if you are on Facebook, let us know who you are, because unless you do the thing so that your stuff will pop up and everything like that. But anyway, so moving on to the other thing. So ego, clearly that's one big one. So no respect. If we're talking about no respect, and these are just the whys. We haven't even got to all of the who's yet, but the whys. Another one of the whys that you were saying, lack of respect or not giving respect, no respect. I always like to say, hey, I give it like I get it. If I'm giving you that respect, I better get it back. Like that. But so no respect. How does that look?
Well, don't look good for the other side if they tend to do that.
Right on.
No, but just basically like what you just said. I mean, respect is earned, not given.
Right.
So, I'm a firm believer of that. You know what I mean? And I will give anybody a certain degree of respect until proven otherwise.
Right.
Now, once I get that, once you just showed me who you really are, then that respect diminishes, and then at that point, in my mind, I'm thinking, may you rest in shit from this point on. I don't got nothing else to say to you. That's real talk. That's just me. But respect is a big thing, both in your private life and the club, because you think a lot of stuff that we talk about, we talk about it on a club setting, but it's also universal because it's more you can use for any dynamic that you're going with, because a lot is, because the same things apply in your personal life as it does on the MC. And, everybody knows that with you out here and you putting in work and you doing what you're supposed to be doing, there's, when you out there, you out and about, there's a certain degree of respect that you get depending on what you're doing. Sometimes you don't have to say a word. Your presence and your stature alone and how you carry yourself automatically gets you a certain degree of respect. Now,
we talked about that in that Sergeant Arms class that we was doing this weekend. Me and Shaggy kind of delved into that a little bit about your posture, how you deal with people, how you stand, how you walk, how you hold your hand, a number of different things. But that's a fact, the way you carry yourself, the way you interact with folks,
like one thing that a lot of people have to realize is that, I don't care whether I'm a diamond holder or not. You're gonna talk to me like you got some damn sense.
Right.
You know what I mean? You're gonna talk to me about A, B, and C, and I'm gonna give you an answer. That's it. That's all. You're gonna talk to me in the way that you want me to reply to you.
Right.
Like you think about it like this: anything that you do or say that's negative, the other person is gonna come at you equally, if not worse, than what it was that you said to them.
Right.
So if you don't want that smoke, you don't want them problems, then guess what?
Right.
You're gonna talk to me like you got some sense, and then I'm gonna respond to you likewise.
Right.
I don't have to hoop and holler and cuss at you to get my point across. I'm very exquisite with my words, and I can say exactly what I need to say to you. And I could probably make you feel this big and not even say a cuss word to you and walk away knowing, oh man, I just got his ass. He don't even really. He gonna sit back and think about what it was I just said.
It's gonna take him a minute.
You know what I mean? Right. It's gonna take him a minute to comprehend what it was I just said. But when he thinks about it, he's gonna be like, "Motherfucker."
Damn. Wait, it took me 5 minutes to realize how pissed off I need to be.
Right. How dare him? How dare him talk about me like that? He ain't even come out. He ain't even raise his voice.
But using big words.
Right. But that's the thing though. That's what actually gets a lot of people though, because a lot of them, they want you. They don't like confrontation. So when they see you coming, they automatically think that you're gonna come at them like rah, this one, rah. Like when you come to them and you hit them with
shit.
Right. So when you hit them on some real live, conversation that they sitting there, they just like, huh? What I mean? And then you done said everything you need to say in the tone that you needed to say it, and you got everything that you needed to say off your chest, and you done walked away. Now they just standing there recycling what it is that you just said to them.
Hey, Cameo said, and this is to your point. Cameo says it could also, these sort of things, it could also be purposely done by a rival who wants to get some shit started.
Yeah, sure too.
I've seen that, and I can't even lie. Not only have I seen it, I've done it. Because allegedly done it. Because sometimes there's a saying in Sun Tzu, I think it's Sun Tzu, Art of War. It says that politics or war is politics by other means, meaning that if we can just talk about it, we're going to talk about it, we're going to work it out, we're going to negotiate, we're going to debate, and all that kind of stuff. That's politics. Well, war, when the talking stops, the fighting starts. So war is politics by other means. We're working towards a result, like it or not. We're trying to get to a result. It's just, hey, are we going to use conversation to get to that result, or are we going, we going to get it in? It's one or the other, but so that's a good point, Cameo. I do believe that sometimes, you have somebody who will purposely be disrespectful or purposely, act like they're offended and their ego is hurt and all like that. They'll purposely do that stuff just to go ahead and, get the damn candlestick lit. What do you call them things on the damn fuse, light the fuse? It happens. Now,
but them usually the ones that can't fight any damn ways, and they need that, because you notice, like you may see him 100 times by himself and he don't say a word, but when he got five or six of his bros, now he the toughest motherfucker on the block. Now he got all these words. Okay, you gonna say all these words right now, and then guess what? Next week I'm gonna see your ass at Walmart, and I'm gonna watch you walk to your car, and I'm gonna beat the brakes off you and send you back home. The old lady gonna be wondering what the hell happened to you. You gonna tell her that that you slid off the shopping cart or something. You ain't gonna tell her that you just got your ass whooped for something that you done did out here, but you had your little homeboys with you then, though. Anybody can get caught slipping at any given time.
This is that dude. This is that dude at Walmart when he's by himself. He's like, "Hey, Archbishop. Hey, How you feel? How's your mom and them? They good? They good?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's that dude. He's that dude on Tuesday. Tuesday at 6:30. He's this guy, right? Like Friday night, and he got 30 of his brothers. He's like, he's back to that dude, making
Right.
back to that face. That dude, back
Like
to
he got like he got 5 lemon heads and sucking on them at the same time. Y'all,
yep.
y'all juiced up, you know what I mean?
Them
Bitter
dudes
beer
cracking me
face.
up. Hey, one of my favorites, motherfucking Jones says the guys can know that their issues be over a woman, but the woman is never checked on the drama that she starts. That's the thing.
True.
That's the
True.
thing. Because it depends on who you're talking with, but a lot of these dudes, they could be the rah-rahest individual out there, but that little, 5'4", 120-pound woman is pulling his strings like a so-and-so, and he terrified to say something to her and to check her on her shit,
But but why is that though? I mean, go think about it. Now,
right.
Now, if he says XYZ, then yeah, I'm gonna go over and I'm gonna smack shit out of him. Now, if she say that and I go smack shit out of her, I'm going to jail.
Right.
You know what I mean? So a lot of times the reason why she ain't checked is because you don't want to go to jail. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because because think about it. Usually the ones that got the most mouth is the first one to call the police.
Man, facts.
And they'll sit there and they'll sit there and raise $100,000 worth of hell, and as soon as they know that you're getting ready to get them, they're on the phone.
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean. So right. So you already know this.
I seen him. I'm gonna call the club and lie on you. I'm gonna call the police and lie on you, or they might call the police and tell the truth on you. Either or, the result is kind of sort of the same. It's never good. Itchy Punk says club business is no one's but the club's. No one else needs to know, not even your old lady. Man, we can't say this enough. And by the way, while we at it, ladies, it's a number of y'all watching out here tonight. Now I know Franny, you're pretty solid. Franny is solid as all hell. A number of these ladies are. But guess what? Don't go telling your man your club business neither. I'm telling you, don't do it. Get in the habit. Don't think that you're exempt because you're a woman and you got ovaries and boobs and stuff. Nope. The same rules apply to you. So don't feel special. You wanted equality. Here's some equality for your ass. Shut the fuck up. Don't go pillow talking with your old man, right? Because he don't need to know your information. Pretend like because he might want to know it, but he don't need to know it. So everybody, how do you say that politically correct? Shut the fuck up, I think is the way to use that word, something like that. No, all right, hold on, wait a minute. Franny said something else. She goes, being a 1%er, why would a female think it's another chick calling you? Your bro could be in trouble. Wow, Franny, that part. I was just talking about Franny. See, Franny know what time it is. Because, but guess what, Franny? That, you're unique in that respect, But
okay, so So she asks, why would a female think that?
Well, she's saying it like this: being a 1%er, why would your female think that it's just necessarily automatically a female calling you? Like your brother could be in trouble right now. When you get those calls, those are important calls. Don't mean it's a woman. Don't mean you got to, leave. Like when you leave the room, it's not necessarily because it's a female. In fact, the majority of the time, it's because of the fact that, hey, we need to talk about something that she don't need to hear about. That's why, hey, got to go outside. Or
and then too, you got to think like some females have their own little personal insecurities. It don't have anything to do with you, but it's from from past events. So you walking off holding conversation, they automatically think that you up to something. So hell, it's been plenty of times. Then you be on the phone. But who you talking to? Talking to Bone. Oh, going about the business.
Oh yeah.
So, but they ask, don't give a damn about them asking, but I ain't sitting there about to tell you what the hell we talking about, though. That ain't the conversation we're gonna have.
Right on. Oh, by the way, we gotta answer the one y'all don't see me, motherfuckers. Cinderella says that was Wild Man. So hey, Wild Man, hey, hold on, take that. That's for you, Wild Man.
What's up, old man?
Hey, doggone, here we go. Soldier from Hard Knocks says, he said, when keeping it real goes wrong.
Yeah, right.
On.
Right.
Hey, and Freedom's out of Pennsylvania. Freedom says, peace, bro. How do you think we can resolve these long-standing? Oh, that's a great question. How do you think we can resolve these long-standing beefs that started over bullshit?
Conversation.
Yeah.
Conversation. You have your leadership from them two actually sit down and have a meaningful conversation and put everything to bed.
Yeah.
Real simple.
Yeah. I think a big part of it too is that and here's where ego comes into play. You know, you got this club and they got that club. A lot of times they know it was some bullshit that got it started, but nobody wants to acknowledge that because they think that makes us look weak. The better clubs are like, yeah, that was some bullshit. You know what? Let's go ahead and get past that. Now, if we got legitimate beef, that's a different subject. But you know, if it's some bullshit, man, you know, all you're doing when you keep beef going behind bullshit, the only thing you're doing, like my dude told me a long time ago, that bullshit, when it's unnecessary bullshit, all you're gonna do is make the lawyers rich, the jails full, and the police busy. That's what you're gonna do. And your home is gonna be empty and broke because you ain't there to do your part, you know. So yeah, real talk. So I think that, like you said, to answer that, a conversation, you know, it actually, you know, is politics and then politics by other means. The first part is usually better. Cameo said, oh, in regard to what we was talking about a little earlier, he said he was a coward then, and when he goes over to the other side, he's still a coward, you know. Oh, wait a minute. Ambush said, good evening, brothers. That's Ambush, one of the most favoriteest POs ever. Ambush, good to see you, sis. Thank you for joining. Oh, hey, I broke 2-time. What's good, 2-time? And Cinderella said, the truth will never change. And
what was that the bro said on there about said he was a coward, and then when he went to the other spot, he was still a coward?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
He said
Okay.
he was
Now,
a coward,
which is
yeah, you see
which is very true. Which is very true. Now you think about it like this: Clark Kent is a coward as well, but when he pulled his shirt out, he became Superman, right?
Right.
Okay. So when he was over here, he was Clark Kent. Now that he got some new shit on, now he's Superman. You see what I mean? Still the same people. Two different egos, two different personalities, same person. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, you know what I mean? So what does that make you? A super bitch or whatever? You know what I mean?
Something like that.
You know,
something like that.
yeah, that's the new thing. Hashtag super bitch. There you go.
Oh shit. Yosa says, good evening, Big Bone. And the most handsome sponsor ever. She spelled my name wrong. She spelled my name as Archbishop, but she said, good evening, Big Bone. And the most handsome sponsor ever, Archbishop.
There you go. See, say it for the ones in the back that ain't see that.
How come this whole weekend I get called Archbishop until it becomes a handsome thing, then they get it right. See, I'm getting emotional right now. But he also said, hey, says, oh, hey, what's Hood talking about? Hood says, some think you're real. Wait, let me make sure I'm saying it right. Some think you're real when you are the one called for war. You're a real one when you're called to make peace. Real ones undying work is behind the scenes reconciling bullshit. They know war. They know. Okay. Right. That's a fact though, because I think it's more difficult sometimes to squash bullshit, especially you got all kind, like you said, you know, you got egos and emotions and maybe somebody said something about somebody's old lady. You know, you're dealing with all that extra silly ass bullshit. So yeah, it's a more challenging consideration to squash the bullshit and to be, like you said a little while ago, have that conversation, and actually, more importantly, not just have the conversation, but get a resolution out of that shit. You know,
I mean, but even with the,
hmm?
even with the talk, even with the conversation, that can't just be anybody that's having this conversation. You got to have somebody that holds this conversation that knows, a couple things. Number one, how to read people, how to read their responses. Number two, be able to talk fluently and eloquently enough to get your point across and to get the right and proper result.
Right.
So you can't just send somebody in there and only thing they saying is, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
I was just thinking
you
that.
need
I
somebody.
swear.
I mean,
I
you
was
need
just
somebody
thinking
that's in there
that.
to actually know what it is they're talking about and be able to articulate themselves and use the manner and the vocabulary necessary to get what you need accomplished.
Right. If you use the expression "you feel me" about 22 times in 3 minutes, maybe you're not the right one to be having that conversation, especially on behalf of your organization. So hey, Sassy's in the house. Sassy was like, "Hey, what's up, y'all?" She said, hey y'all, this Sassy. Okay. And okay, Franny is complaining. No, she's not complaining. She did complain about a thing, but she said she has a question. Franny is saying, what advice would you give someone wanting to start a biker group with what y'all already know about her? And we're going to talk about that somewhere else. It's a great question, though. But we'll get to it. Actually, if you get a chance, go back through some of them old shows. We touch on some of those things, but we'll get on a little conference call, a group of us, and we'll just kind of chop it up about something like that. And because that's like a whole other thing. But and a Facebook user is giving us some, but we don't know who it is. Bone said, thanks, love, and respect from Muncie, Indiana. When we finally make it your way, I'll hit you up, big bro. So don't let me get dead. LOL. Okay.
Oh, Muncie, Indiana, boy, I've been through there quite a few times.
He's
I've
when he
been through
said,
there quite
"Don't
a
let
few
me get
times."
dead," he's talking about that thing that happened to me in Cartersville, Georgia. And, yo, I tell you what, Bone, when you come up here, we're gonna make sure you don't get dead. But just so you know, the 2024 the the MC Professional Convention is actually going to be in Indianapolis for 2024. So a lot of folks, more than likely, both of us will probably be coming up there to fuck with you. So if you don't make it here by then, we'll be making it up there. But 2024 will be here in the blink of an eye. Tony said, appreciate y'all doing this education for ones that are learning or need to be reminded. I'll be getting down to see y'all in the near future. Much love and respect. Tony, man, we're looking forward to seeing you. Oh, there's Ambush. Ambush in the house. Ambush says, enjoying the dialogue, bros. And Ambush, one of the favoriteest POs out there, girl. Look, we appreciate you. We appreciate you looking out for us like you do. Hey, Hard Knocks is in the house tonight. Joe from Hard Knocks. Good evening, everybody. You got Cinderella says when we were talking earlier, she said, "Call it be a nice nasty." I think she's talking about you. I think she's talking about her sponsor, using them big words and getting people confused and things. And Beaker Dab says, "What's up, everyone from Northern Michigan? Just wanted to say thanks for your time. I appreciate the knowledge you guys share. Much love and respect." Man, Beaker, we appreciate it. We appreciate it. We're trying to keep it going. We have worked all year to see if we could get Archbishop to, be less violent and not cuss as much. And what are you gonna do? What you gonna do?
Well, obviously it don't matter, being the fact they knew my name and not yours. So
I know.
And I'm gonna keep, I'm gonna keep that going for a minute.
Oh Lord, they wore my ass out this weekend. I'm trying to tell you, they did. Hey, matter of fact, speaking of the proc, doggone Foxy Johnson. Foxy, listen, we want to take just a minute to tell you the proc this year. Foxy Johnson, amongst other things, she has a very impressive and storied MC credentials. And this 2023 proc was definitely, it was all that. Everybody and their doggone mother was out there, got a lot of things done. We really connected with a lot of people. People really enjoyed it. We've been hearing from so many folks just since well, today even. Yes, the whole weekend we were there at the proc, hearing from all kinds of folks who are looking forward to the next thing that we were going to do or talking about the last thing. But and folks are already talking about 2024. So Foxy, you did your damn thing. And you know, so Foxy, hey, that one's for you. That one's for you, man. Foxy, do your thing. And then there we go. And wait a minute. Okay. So we're hearing from a lot of folks, but to jump on to the next thing, one of the other things going back to a why, or excuse me, going back to a why was territory/money. Now, that's a different thing. So territory/money, as far as, you know, these clubs getting into it, bumping heads and so forth. What's that all about?
Well, you know, I'm not speaking on this on a personal issue because I mean, but I know based on previous stuff that we know about, it's generally it's over, let's see, dope, and let me see, how you say, I'm trying to be politically correct here, ladies of the night.
Oh yeah. Oh, I'm sorry.
You know, that's
in French we say hoes.
Well, yeah. Yeah. It's what I mean, but then the territory part comes into it where, you know, when you have a chapter sitting, you know, in a particular area, they have range, you know, north, south, east, and west.
Right.
And you know, you have so many miles that you have how can you say, that's your grounds.
Right.
That's your grounds. Okay. So when you have people that come into your airspace without permission, without, and thinking that they're gonna come there and set up shop, and it's gonna interfere with what it is that you got going on, then yeah, that becomes a problem. You know what I mean? Now, granted, you know, each I think this is all pretty universal. It's usually what, 100 mile rule.
Yep.
So you got 100 miles north, east, south, and west that is your grounds. So, you know, and anybody that knows that when they come into that area, that's you were there first, that's yours. That's just like, this is like, that's your house.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? This is my property. You know what I mean? And if I invite you in, I invite you in. But if I don't, you call yourself breaking in, then we got a problem.
Right. No, facts. Hey, Joe from Hard Knocks said, reason why some bros don't check their old ladies is because they have too much to lose, such as the house, the kids, the job. So I suggest that those bros stand on their own so they don't get stuck in that spot. You know, and Dr. Ambush said, LOL, not a super bitch.
That's what I said. Hashtag at.
Hashtag super bitch. Hey, Big Red says, late getting on, late as fuck, just got home. Hey, Louisiana or New Orleans ain't exactly close, so we're glad that you made it on to come and ride with us a little bit tonight, Big Red. You were fantastic this weekend. You absolutely held it down. If I know there's no way in the world I'm gonna be the first one to tell you, but you did your damn thing. But she said, good evening, brothers, Big Bone and Archbishop. And wait a minute. Wait, hashtag super bitch. Motherfucking Jones said hashtag super bitch. He goes, I'm starting to use that.
Yeah, we're gonna trend it. I'm gonna tell you, it's gonna be viral in a couple of days. Keep it trending.
Hashtag super bitch. And Doggone Foxy said, hey, Big Red, she's on top. Yeah, she is. And Doggone Big Red says, glad you made it back safely, Sister Foxy. Okay. Oh, well, they got a whole thing going on. Let's
they got a whole conversation going.
Yeah, because we need to, you know, stay in your lane. We need to mind our business while they can do their thing right there. But nonetheless, okay, Hard Knock says, just got put on to this channel from some of my bros, and I'm loving it. Man, Joe, that's what's up, man. He said, keep spreading the education, brothers, and man, we're gonna keep trying to share with all your brothers. And speaking of which, like Cinderella and Doggone Frost and and doggone Phoenix and all them say, like, subscribe, share, do that. If somebody, somebody don't know about it, man, turn them on to it. Let them watch this thing. Tell them like, subscribe, share, because of the algorithm and all that kind of fancy schmancy technical stuff. But speaking of technical stuff, let us take a minute. And what we're going to do is we're going to take a break for, it's not really station identification. It just sounds cool when we say that. But we're going to show a little love to our sponsors right quick.
Just like, we'll be right back.
That part.
I decided to pursue a career in law because it gives me an opportunity to help people. When a client chooses us to represent them, they're entrusting us with a huge responsibility. It's our goal to exceed their expectations with our personalized service and to help them to achieve the best possible recovery to compensate them for their injuries.
That's where we come in. We come in and we solve that problem for them and really set them on the right track in order to try and get back to what their life was like before the accident happened.
See, that wasn't even that long. See, that's pretty cool. So we got all kinds of questions, and we invite all kinds of questions. So this one is all you, brother, because I got a motorcycle addiction. But 87 Sigs is asking if you were getting a 90s Evo, would you get a Dyna or a Softail? That's a motorcycle related question because we actually do like to ride motorcycles every now and then.
I would say Dyna.
Dyna? Okay.
I would say Dyna.
Why?
What would you think?
See, I would say Dyna as well. My issue is that okay, so fuck it, let me say it like I mean it. So my thing is, as much as I like Dynas, I like to look at them. I like Softails too. But for the way that I'm set up, because you and I have similar body frames and so forth. So I've got this, I've got the what do you call it? I got the Raider with the 1900 motor in it, and that's okay. I've had to make a few adjustments to it just so I'm comfortable on it, right? But after being on my damn Road Glide for a while, and after stealing my brother Wise's bike every chance I get, I've gotten a little spoiled in the sense that even though I dig Dynas, I look at a Dyna. I'm just saying, me personal. I look at Dynas and Softails more like bar hoppers, and you know how we get down, man. We break state lines. So I think in my head, I'm thinking more Road Glide for sure. As a number 2, I'm thinking Street Glide, and then I just pissed off all kinds of folks. But if you really want to piss folks off, especially people that ride Street Glides, you say something like, what's that thing we like to say? Road Glides up front. For those of y'all who aren't really into the heavy biker culture, I just pissed a bunch of folks off when I said Road Glides up front because then people don't like that. but that's just me though. But I think if I had to choose between the two, I'd probably default to the Dyna in between the two of them. And hey, Pressure, doggone Pressure, my friggin' line bro. I said, "What's up, Bone and Archbishop? Keep doing that knowledge." This is oh no, my bad. That's Block. Oh, I thought it was our bro Pressure, but that's Block from South Florida. Block, what's up, man? Good to see you. And but yeah, man. So territory, money. We talked about that. Now let's go back to the who. So who is it that when these things come up, like between these beefs between these clubs, and we talked a little bit about that this weekend at the Proc. But when this club and that club and they get at it, who are those clubs? Because we know, and like I mentioned earlier, I've seen everybody get into it. Anybody could get into it. Grown ass man, grown ass woman. People sometimes resolve things differently. But who do you think is the ones that you see getting into this shit?
You mean the actual clubs itself?
No, not the club name, but I'm saying like the type of club. Is it the motorcycle ministries? Is it the the party club? Or I mean, obviously,
Well, actually, I kind of said a little bit of this earlier when I said that all clubs get into it. Because it doesn't matter whether you in a MM, a MC, a RC, a OMC, don't matter. You're a man first and foremost.
Right.
So, so just me being in a certain type of club is not going to protect you from possibly getting beat up. Uh,
Right.
you know, the like I said, it's more, the more you hear about, you know, like in the tabloids and the news and social media, stuff like that, you hear about the OMCs and the dominant and the 1% clubs. Those are the ones that because it's like when you hear about two 1% club rivals, they into it or whatever, and you know, they go on and talk about these such and such motorcycle gang, such and such, and this motorcycle gang, blah 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 blah. Because now we gangs now, you know.
Oh yeah.
Even though we don't got no,
that part.
we don't, you know what I mean, we don't got this yet though, you know what I mean. We ain't sitting there, but yeah, but we gangs. But anyway, that's that's news. You know what I mean? Because you are dealing with as they figured, the top notch of the MC world clashing. So that's what you hear. That's what you hear most about. You don't hear about, I mean, very rarely you hear about other clubs into it, you know what I mean? Unless like something happens or whatever. Of course, they'll do a quick little story on it, like, hey, this took place, blah, 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 blah. You know, it's like it hit the paper on Monday and it's over with on Tuesday. You don't hear about it. But when you hear something about this going on, and this is a storyline, see, because then they start digging into it because there's legs to it, and then they trying to, you know, figure out the ins and outs and what happened and who did this and who did this, you know what I mean? And it becomes this whole blowed out thing. So you know, the 1%er, the 1%er set gets exploited mostly because of it being that, you know what I mean? So a lot of the other stuff really go around our wayside, but all clubs fight. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Sometimes within, you know, the way I point this out all the time, and this happens whether two clubs are cool with each other, or whether it's two brothers within the same club, or even in the same chapter. Because guess what? As shocking as this means, anybody who's got a sibling knows brothers fight sometimes. It don't mean that you feel it's okay for somebody else to go fight them, or to put their hands on them, or to talk trash about them, your brother, your sister, your mama, right? But you might want to knock their damn head off and put their teeth down their throat. And then, you know, 2-3 hours later, you know, you'll be the first one taking them back to the dentist to get the new, you know, like that, because that's what happens. But in real life, you know, folks get into it. So I agree with you wholeheartedly. Doggone Risky from Free Runners Masonic Order says a lot of guys want to move up in their club, but they don't find out until it's too late that the drama intensifies as you move up. And not everybody is prepped for the amount of bullshit that's going to come with it. And of course, that's where a lot of them fights come from. And now Risky, being the violent individual that he, all right. Now Risky is a solid individual, but that's some real factual information right there.
Yeah, that's definitely true. You know, you have some that every club has them. You have people that want to be president, but don't have the mentality to be a president.
Right.
There is a, you know, for one, you are a servant to the chapter first and foremost, but you have to have, there's a couple unique qualities that you got to possess in order to be able to do it and do it efficiently.
Right.
You know, patience is one.
Sure.
Patience is one. You got to be able to know the people in your chapter. You got to know stuff about people that they don't think you know. You got to know how to read them, and you got to know, you got to know what's going to drive each individual person that you can get the most out of. You know what I mean? And that's what, you know, it's not just, okay, I'm the president, y'all do as I say and not as I do, and this is how we gonna be. That's not how it is. It's a long, there's a list of stuff that you have to be in order to do that. But once you are there, it's like the floodgates open.
Right.
So you gotta have big shoulders and not wear your feelings on your sleeve.
Facts. We got a couple things Dagon. So Guts has something going on here. He goes, question. I'm prospecting for an OMC that's transitioning to a 1%er. They're cool cats on a personal level. However, they're not as active as I would prefer. Also consistent or inconsistencies in protocol and organization that concern me. Should the mindset be to make a change to the MC, or should it be to find a better fit? Thank you for taking the time, Big Bone. Roll with the channel. This is Doberman on twos. Okay, Doberman on twos. I remember you.
Okay.
That's a great question.
Go back to the one previous.
Okay. Like right there. He says inconsistencies in protocol and organization that concern me. Should the mindset be to make a change to the MC, or should it be to find a better fit?
Okay. Well, that's a two-part question.
Yeah.
Let me dive into it, and then you can dive into it too. Okay.
Yeah.
First thing is, and this is a big misconception. When you go into a club and you just now coming over into this club, the first couple years, you shouldn't say shit. You should sit back, listen, pay attention, and understand what it is that's going on.
Facts.
You know what I mean? The biggest thing that happens is that you have people that come in, they were probies, and they sit there and they looking at stuff firsthand, and they see like, okay, this ain't right, this ain't right, this ain't right. And then when you come in, as soon as you come in, all of a sudden you chop. Right. Understand everything that there is to know first before you jump to that. You know, that's usually the biggest killer on bros that don't hang out long. It's because they come in and they come in with this list of stuff that they're going to do to try to change the MC. You're not going to change the MC. You're not going to change it. Now you can speak up about certain things, and it may or may not change for the better as to what you're talking about. But then a lot of them is going to tell you, you know what I mean, get some miles between your legs before you open your mouth.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? So, but if you see stuff now that you don't approve of, or you feel that's against what you're trying to do, then I think you already answered your own question.
Yeah.
If it's not for you, then why pursue it? You know what I mean? Because at that point, you wasting the club's time and yours. So if it's something else that's a better fit for you, then you can explore that. But do not just, because you're new to a club, do not jump in there and just start doing that. I'm telling you, you're not gonna like the end result to that. Promise you.
You know, I'm thinking, like, as I was looking at the question, I was thinking the thing. Actually, me and Shaggy talk about this a lot. Just because it's a club does not mean that it's necessarily for you. Because, you know, look, there's a lot of motorcycle clubs. A lot of people want to ride motorcycles and all of that kind of stuff, right? Everything ain't for everybody, you know, or it literally might be, like you said, he probably answered his own question. And also one of the other things is, are you a hang around? Are you a prospect? You know, like, where are you in that process? Because if you're a hang around, hey, no harm, no foul. You can hang around, and if you feel like, hey, this is what you're seeing right now, maybe it's legitimately not a good fit. If you don't feel it, don't do it. Like we tell, you know, like in this environment, we say, hey, if it ain't in your heart, don't put it on your back, right? So be conscientious of that. Just because that's the club that you met and you're talking to does not necessarily mean that that's where you have to go, right? Other clubs, and even if it's not, so what? Maybe that's just not the right one for you. Maybe there's no club for you, which that's the thing that a lot of people who, you know, they watch some TV or they seen some of their buddies riding and all like that, and they feel like, man, I just got to do it. And, okay, that's fine. You can feel that way. Don't mean you got to go with that club or any club, you know? So don't be in a rush. It's like, I like to ask guys, what you going to be doing for the next 5 or 10 years? Okay. Well, are you in a big rush? Take your time. Speed kills. So take your time to figure out legitimately in your heart and in your head, is this going to work for me? Do I think it's going to? And look, nothing's perfect, right? But figure out if you think that this is something that can work, then give it your best shot, because you do get out of something what you put into something. And it's no different with the set, no different than with a motorcycle club. Give it your best shot. You be the best you, be the best probie, be the best hang around, be the best member, be the best brother that you can be. And if after all that, it ain't right, guess what? Maybe you need to look elsewhere. Sometimes you can figure it out without, burning through 3, 4, 5 years, sometimes. So, you got some big decisions to make there. I mean, and that's not to run you off or scare you away or nothing like that. This just means that, hey, that's something that you legitimately got to think about. A couple of things real quick. Left lane, man, left lane from Black Kings. Hey, we got love for you, bro. It's good to see you, man. And so here's a great question. This cat called 1%er says, what are all those rings for? Those rings, these rings right here are for none of your fucking business. Next. How about okay, hey, Hollywood says territory equals money, power, respect. Can be. Beaker's talking about my first Harley Davidson was a 2002 Softail Deuce. Absolutely love it for in the city. 2015 Road Glide now, and that's what I was saying is like for me, like a Softail or a Dyna. I look at that kind of like a bar hopper. I'm just saying me. I look at it like a bar hopper. But don't get it twisted. I mean, I took that Raider all around the United States of America because that's the bike I had, and I was younger, and a whole bunch of other stuff. I tried to run that Raider down to went down to Fort Myers. I thought I was gonna die, and I'm like talking 2-3 hours, and I'm pretty much ready to fill out insurance forms and do my last will and testament on the same bike that I went all around the country in, because Father Time's an asshole. That's why. But anyway, when you ride, you glide, says Beaker says when you ride, you glide. Our brother, let's see. Freedom from up north said, yo, what you talking about, Big Bone? Street glides up front. God, see, I knew that was gonna happen. Damn it, I knew it was coming. But
see, he from up north. It ain't got up there yet. He from up north. It ain't got there yet. It's coming. Right, it's coming.
Bone says, ones have to understand that there is rules to the lifestyle. If you choose to play, and respect is at the top of the list. That's kind of it. Somebody from Facebook says, glad to see you landed safe at the crib, big bro. Hey, thank you. Hey, even though I don't know who you are right now, but there's somebody on Facebook. We're going to figure it out later on. Brian Wood says, hello, Sin. Again, 1% is asking about this jewelry. Stop worrying about this jewelry, 1%er. And let's see. Okay, well, there's a lot of folks up here, but anyway, so I guess the
is he asking to see your jewelry? Is that who it is? He asking?
Yeah,
is that what he's asking for?
He seems to be asking about my jewelry. That's something that usually women do. I'm just saying, women seem to be concerned with my jewelry because women like jewelry. Like with us, jewelry is a different thing. But yeah, that's some old weird shit right there. You seem to be fascinated by it. I don't know why that is, but stop worrying about it, 1%er. Big Bone, I think the time on your watch is wrong. I don't know what the hell. Okay, I'll tell you what. Let's fix that right now. Hold on. Blip.
Boy, they zoomed on. Boy, how do you see your time wrong on your clock, man?
I don't know. That's some kind of weird. Listen, I get it that we might have homosexuals who enjoy this program, but guess what?
No, I'm just trying to figure out how they see your they see your wrist that long to see what you're doing. That
sounds like, I swear, that sounds like either
that's some FBI surveillance van.
Yeah, right. Let me look out the window and see if somebody's in a van outside, because I'm telling you, that's either some super duper homosexual stuff or some authorities, the
That's some
ABC.
top spy.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah, that's some top spy right there. Yeah, that's top
so
spy.
we're gonna have to excuse you from the organization of our conversation and things like that. But yo, I'll tell y'all what. We've been at it for about an hour and 29 minutes, and look, we glad to be back here in one piece. We're very glad that you guys spent some time with us tonight. You know, you rode out with us, chopped it up with us. It's all good. And we just appreciate the absolute hell out of it. But between now and then, you know, we're going to be doing this again next week. We got some more stuff to talk about. We want y'all to, you know, keep checking us out, like, subscribe, share, let folks know what's up, you know, and also, you know what? Check us out on the Facebook page. You know, we definitely got the Facebook page going. And, you know, other than that, I guess the big thing about this whole, you know, like bikers getting into it, you know, when MCs go to war and all that kind of stuff is you don't necessarily have to, you know what I mean? Just because y'all don't agree on a thing, everybody don't always agree on stuff. But like Archbishop said, a conversation will squash so much bullshit. It really will. So, you know, don't be scared to have a conversation. If you're scared to have a conversation, your ass shouldn't be on the set. Just my way of thinking. What say you, Archbishop?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, you know, a lot of times a conversation you'd be surprised how well a conversation can fix a lot of things if you know how to talk. I mean, if you know, I mean, as long as you're not on there just rambling, you know, I mean, if you actually got a legit conversation going on in a proper monologue, you can basically talk your way through pretty much anything.
Yeah. No,
you facts. Know, yeah, but I just wanted to let everybody know, like I said, like, follow, share, subscribe, let everybody know, tune in to Big BoneYard. We're going to start talking about in the next coming weeks. We're going to start talking about some stuff that it's some of it may be a little controversial, but some of it's going to be bringing awareness to a few things that not just for the MC world, but on a regular personal notes. You know what I mean? I think it will affect every single person that watches this show, in one way or the other.
Definitely.
So we're gonna start growing a little bit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We're gonna keep it on the MC level, but we're gonna start talking about some others. We're gonna start bringing up some conversation that, you know, that people need to be aware of, that they need to start paying attention to, and stuff like that. So, like I said, we need you, and that's where we need you guys' help. You know what I mean? To go out and, you know, talk about the show. Tell them to tune in, watch a couple of those. So hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Yeah, because we got some stuff planned out, and we're gonna be 23. We're gonna smash the gas on a lot of different subjects. And you know, like I said, some of it's gonna be controversial. Some of it you're gonna be waiting for the next week to see what else we getting ready to talk about, because some of them gonna be some doozies. So letting you know.
Oh yeah, and you know, I got to tell you, real talk. Don't miss the things that's going to happen in the next few weeks and next few months, and quite honestly, the entirety of the year. You want to be plugged in. We got some extremely exciting stuff happening, and y'all gonna you gonna be watching. Your mama gonna be watching. You're gonna have the kids watching. You know, well, maybe not the kids, because you know, they're profanity. You know, there's that whole thing. But no, look. Y'all stay plugged in, man. But in the meantime, we definitely appreciate y'all riding with us, and y'all keep doing it, man. Keep riding with us, and also questions, comments, concerns, anything except for that one dude who's overly concerned about shit that ain't none of his goddamn business. The rest of y'all,
we just playing, man. We just playing. Don't take that shit personal, bro. We just playing. We just playing.
Yo, but on the real talk. Hey, look, thank you on behalf of myself and Archbishop 1%er, man. Y'all keep fucking with us, man. Y'all keep riding with us, and we'll see y'all in like a whole 7 days. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, wait a minute. We gotta do this.
Who was that?
Hey, thank you for calling the Big BoneYard. You got Big Bone 1%er, Archbishop 1%er, and if my caller ID is right, this might be motherfucking Hood Lodo, motherfucking Hood 1%er. Is that Hood?
Yes, me.
What's up, man?
What's up, brothers? And my apologies, you know what I'm saying? I seen y'all wrapping it up. I had to handle some daughter things, you know what I'm saying? I was plugged in though pretty much the majority of the episode, but then, you know, I gotta do the daddy thing.
Yeah.
But I wanna drop a little something real quick in relevance to this war shit.
Yeah.
War is not a fucking game at all. Period. And if that's not internalized by the leadership of a chapter or the leadership of an organization, it is very easy for the ego and the women thing and all that bullshit. It's easy. It's natural, basically. It's natural for motherfuckers to go to war over that stupid shit. It takes the leadership to quell that. Much of the background that goes on with leadership, if you selected the right leader, is to sit there and quell. That's the beauty of our MC subculture. It creates a structure where people can communicate. Who's your boss? Bring your boss to me before there's a problem. Bring your boss to me, let's talk. And then we sit there and smush it. But much of the dumb shit that we sit there and go through is because we allow members that come from sucker backgrounds to sit there and use our structure or our clubs to force some of the dumb shit that they go through for them to feel big, for them to feel whatever. And now they causing problems that everybody is affected by over nonsense, if that makes sense.
Right on, yeah. No, it definitely makes sense.
The psychology is crazy because if you think about it, especially on the dominant side, the representation is masculine, dominant, assertive, no bullshit men. That's the representation of the clubs.
Right.
It attracts those that don't have it. Same as the military. The irony is that it attracts a lot of weak people. So we have programs, if you will, put in place to weed out those that don't belong, that aren't the quality that we're looking for. That's your probie periods, that's this, that, and the third. Some slip through the cracks. Your next level of selection is your leadership. When you have a president that selects his cabinet, their work is to weed out those that don't belong. Those that slip through the cracks cause half the problems for their chapter and for their club. The real ones don't deal with that. The real ones aren't concerned with sitting here going to war. War, if you've been through it, is nothing attractive to anybody. It is a failure of your leadership. That's how I look at war, and I'm all about it.
Yeah.
War is a failure of command. Because if I dominate you, if I already got the ups on you during peacetime, I've already sit there and put you in a position that when we go to war, I've already got you. I already got pictures of this, that, and the third. I already show you some things that it's like, listen, you don't want to do that with me or my people. So let's talk. And then you're ready to talk. And when you're ready to talk, we sit there, I figure out what you want, I figure out what I want. I know your people done got hurt a little bit. My people, how can we fix it? That's what the real ones do.
Right on, right on.
Bullshit people take the flag of those that have done the work for decades before them. Now they have a sensation of dominance that they never had in their life, and they use it recklessly. And they cause problems for the rest of their people. They cause problems. Much of this NC shit, we can talk about it soft as ever. We can talk about it like Sons of Anarchy and this beautiful, like, I don't know, we like Fight Club, we could sit there and men could just bang out with each other. No, in 10 seconds, it could turn from a bad look to gunfire. In 2 seconds, it can turn into that. Leadership has to be already on top of all of that, on top of their people and on top of the representation of their club.
Right.
And manage it.
Bro, let me
the
tell you.
worst level, the biggest black eye for the MC set is warfare. Does it happen? Absolutely. And when it happens, is it real? Absolutely. But it's a black eye. It's a black eye for your club. It's a black eye for the people you on with. It's a black eye, period. It's a failure of leadership. That's how I view the shit. Bang.
Yo.
I just want to get that off.
No, yo, look. We know, or you know, I hope you know, we love when you come on here and drop them gems like that, man, because, hey, folks are listening. They respond to it. And the shit that you're saying ain't nothing but the gospel.
I didn't mean to tap in so late.
No, bro, it's nothing but the gospel, man. And not only do we appreciate it, but if you look at the comments, everybody watching appreciates it. There's folks that got your book, and other folks who might not even be familiar. They might not even know that you wrote a book. Who was like, yo, soldiers like preach. Got quick talking about that. Now that's the our bro from up north. It's like, hey, right on, Hood. Has like Hood. Big C says he got the book. Holy Thug 777 is like all truth. And we can go on, but bro, that ain't nothing but the gospel. And we appreciate you taking time out of your day to come and, fuck with us and chop it up with us, man. But I'll tell you what.
I appreciate what y'all doing, and I tune in. And there's certain topics like this one, I had to jump in on this one. You know me, I'm in the shadows. I don't talk too much or whatever, but this one I had to, because there's a lot of communication, and it happens with this MC shit where it's like, it's taken like it's kind of light, like there's some fun protocol and who rides the most and rah, and dominance of this and blah, blah, blah. In 10 seconds, your life can be gone.
Yep.
And that's just real.
Oh, yeah.
This shit is not a game. So with that, like, there's a lot of responsibility and a lot of control that has to happen, one, amongst your membership, and two, amongst what you control. If you want to sit there and put that on your back to join an organization that is the dominant and control shit, listen, this ain't, and you reference, this ain't about territories that are bam, 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 blah, blah, blah. It's about management. And the bottom line is, we all want to go home. All of us, regardless of what your club is, we want to go home. But you're speaking with real people that been through real shit. So respect, which we speak in this MC shit all day. You have to sit there and understand what that means. And only the ones that been through certain experiences have that type of leadership. They know how to manage respect, how to manage making it peace while still respecting their organization, making sure their organization has faith, and preventing war.
Right. Now, bro. Look.
It's just real like that. Yeah, like half the shit motherfuckers be warring over is fake as fuck. It's fake. Oh, yeah, that ego shit, that women shit, are you serious? Why are you in a club? You could war over that shit by yourself. Why are you involved in a whole nation? Because once it's on, once there's bloodshed, now it's past shit you know about. Now it's past what you signed up for. Fuck out of here, man. Come on, B. Like,
yo, Hood.
My bad.
Brother, look, no. Look, Hood, bro, I tell you what, we love it when you stop by, man. And look, matter of fact, look, keep fucking with us, man, because over the next few weeks, Archbishop was just talking about this. We got some real cool shit that's going to be popping off over the next few weeks, and we absolutely want you to be a part of that, man. We definitely want you to be a part of that. So you know,
there's a couple of them I'd already thought of that I was going to call him about to see if I could get him on here to talk about. So you'll be getting a call from me here shortly. We got a couple of things we need to wrap about.
My brothers, I tell y'all
absolutely. I support you. I support what y'all doing. I support all of it. I support everything that is pushing this culture in the right direction, with accurate information and realistic information, and that's what I see y'all doing. So I'm down for whatever.
Man, Thank you, brother. In the meantime, for all y'all that took time out of your life to join us here on the Big BoneYard, hey, we appreciate it in a huge fashion. We're going to be doing this again in about 7 days. But other than that, hey, love and respect, and we're going to see y'all in the week.
Peace.
Peace.
Welcome to the Big BoneYard. Enter at your own risk.
I decided to pursue a career in law because it gives me an opportunity to help people. When a client chooses us to represent them, they're entrusting us with a huge responsibility. It's our goal to exceed their expectations with our personalized service and to help them to achieve the best possible recovery to compensate them for their injuries.
That's where we come in. We come in and we solve that problem for them and really set them on the right track in order to try and get back to what their life was like before the accident happened.